The definition of fitna is filter.
Really?
Yeah. So when
Like for real.
when there would be like a rock that has some gold and some dirt and some iron, the way they would kind of clear out that gold and they would melt it and smelt it, they would call this process fitna. Why? It divides and shows the true parts from the false parts.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, look at Palestine right now. We know who are the true people that are with the Palestinians and defending them, and we know the hypocrites.
Everything is apparent.
Yeah, we know the hypocrites, the people that we thought were, and we thought these guys were any believers. We thought these guys were defending Islam, but subhanAllah, fitna. When it's clear truth and falsehood, you see the believers from the disbelievers, from the hypocrites. Khalas, everything is clear. The tabi'is are the students of the Sahaba. So one of the tabi'is told one of the Sahabis, I wish I was living with you. I wish I was a Sahabi, and I wish I was living with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I was fighting alongside him, and I wish I was a Sahabi. The Sahabi said to him, don't wish that. Like, why do you wish that? We were fighting and killing our brothers and fathers in battle. Do you think you would have been able to withstand that trial and tribulation? Like, we didn't have it easy. But like, you know what I mean? They thought they had it easy. You know, they were chilling with the Prophet. You know what I mean?
They thought they had everything, even the revelation. Like, just imagine, like, us, we're thinking, oh, they're getting the revelation, the Quran, straight from the source, you know what I'm saying? Everything. And
SubhanAllah.
no, it was not easy at all.
And if you think about it, when the Quran would come down in the lifetime of the Prophet, it would be like same second commandments. So imagine this. So there's a period where before alcohol was prohibited, they were drinking alcohol, right? Or they were allowed to drink alcohol. And suddenly an ayah comes down revealing that alcohol is prohibited now. They say, like the scholars say, that when that ayah came down, the streets of Medina were literally filled with wine because everyone was pouring their wine away. But would we be able to give up something that quick in a second?
Imagine.
You see what I'm saying? Like, me and you were raised on don't drink. So it's easy to us. Like, we never drank. We never thought about it because from get-go, we didn't drink. But the Sahaba, for example, they were doing something and an ayah comes down telling them, hey, you need to stop this. And the same second they do it, would we be able to do that? You see what I'm saying? Bro, there's a reason, Wakil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala picked the Sahaba to be the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a reason, bro. There's a reason. Not many people can let go of what they were upon and what their forefathers were upon, and join a man in a new idea, in a new yani. You know what I mean? Like, it's unfathomable, bro. They left their wealth, they left their businesses, they left their families in order to give support to the Prophet Muhammad. Imagine this. Imagine we had a company, we were making billions of dollars, and we're living in Mecca, me and you, right? And the Prophet Muhammad migrates to Medina, and now we have a choice. We want to go to Medina, but the Meccans say, okay, we'll let you go to Medina, but you leave all your wealth. Would we be able to do that? Think about it. Imagine.
I'm saying, hey, man, I'm doing double take. Let me think about it. And
you
wouldn't hear from me again.
Bro, and that's why the Sahabi was telling that tabi'i, he was like, don't wish that. You don't know if you would have been able to basically see it through. You don't know. You don't know if you would be able to, when you're in the battlefield and you see your father on the other side, your father who nurtured you and raised you and loved you, and now you potentially have to kill him. Don't ask for that. You see what I'm saying? And that's why the Sahaba have such a high ranking, bro. It's because of what they sacrificed for Islam. That's why they're ranked, bro. That's why they have that ranking. You see what I'm saying? So it's interesting.
I think about it also. It's not really 1-to-1, but You know how the airplane manuals were made? You know how they said they were made? They were made from blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
So
think about
they're flying and crashing and flying.
yeah, everything that happened. They said, okay,
Let's
let
run
that
it
go.
back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's not really the same way with the Quran, but you know, a lot of things happen, and then a
Yeah.
commandment said,
No, it's
"Yo,
true.
خلص."
Yeah, it's true. Bro, the Quran was coming down live. You know how we say like breaking news live event is happening?
Mhm.
Bro, the Sahaba and the Prophet Muhammad SAW would do something or think about something or plan something, and an ayah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would come down addressing this issue, bro.
Mhm.
It would be like live breaking news. This is what's going on right
Even
now. You know what I mean?
even drama. Like think about it. Even drama when there was slander on Aisha.
Yeah, yeah.
you
Radiallahu
know,
anha.
Subhanallah. Even that the Quran was quick with it.
Yeah,
The
subhanallah.
Quran was quick with it. Hey,
Yeah.
no.
It was a test, bro. Even the Prophet Muhammad SAW he didn't know the truth. You know what I mean? And he was bothered deeply about it because he loved Aisha the most.
Mhm.
And with that, they had to wait. And it was a test from Allah. And then after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought down the verses, basically clearing her name.
Mhm.
But that's the thing. We know all of this stuff like retrospectively. You know what I mean? With hindsight. We read it like history. They
Mhm.
were living it, bro. They were living it.
They didn't know this was gonna
They
happen.
didn't know. They were living it live. They didn't know when is this Quran gonna finish. They don't know.
Not like I.
But that's the thing. Imagine this is the most beautiful example. When the believers now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote upon them that now listen, you believers, now you have to go and fight.
Mm.
Because the revelation came in steps. First 13 years of the Prophet Muhammad in Mecca,
Mm.
there was only da'wah.
Mm.
There was only silent, secret da'wah. He would call his brother, he would call his friend, he would call his neighbor. It would be like this type of tight knit, ground, grassroots type of da'wah. And 13 years they were doing that. And then they went to Medina. And now all of that secretive, low key, imani, because it was the ayahs that were coming in Mecca were just talking about hell, heaven, iman.
Mhm.
And now they're in Medina, and now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now starts giving the laws.
It's a duty.
And now He starts doing, you need to do things now. And one of these things is fighting.
Mm.
Now you have to, believers, go and fight for the sake of Allah.
Mm.
I didn't sign up for this. Maybe some people,
Fighting.
the Sahaba were the bravest of the men. But you have to think about it. Imagine if we were living in that time and now we're like, okay, now we have to put our lives on the line? Yeah, it's a test. That's a test from Allah, bro. The most expensive thing that we have is our souls. If I told you, I'll give you a $10 billion, okay, it sounds good, right? But I'll kill
More than
you.
good,
But I'll
man.
take your soul first. Will you do that trade?
I don't know, bro.
What about $100 billion?
No.
Would you? Why? So what does that mean? That means your life is worth more than $100 billion. You feel me? So when the ayah came down, that okay, now we have to fight. Now you're gonna have to go. Maybe you're gonna die, bro. It's a test from Allah. That's a severe test, bro. And that's what shows the believers from the hypocrites.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's why it's called a fitna.
It was a good filter,
Mm,
man.
exactly, and that's what fitna means. Fitna, the definition of fitna is filter.
Really?
Yeah. So when
Like for real.
when there would be like a rock
Mhm.
that has some gold and some dirt and some iron, the way they would kind of clear out that gold and they would melt it and smelt it, they would call this process fitna.
Fun.
Why? It divides and shows the true parts from the false parts.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Sifting.
Exactly. And fitna, when it happens, it divides the believers from the hypocrites, from the disbelievers. It shows everyone who they are. You show your cards in the fitna,
It
bro.
shines light. It's
You see what I'm saying? Like look at Palestine right now. We know who are the true people that are with the Palestinians and defending them, and we know the hypocrites.
Everything is apparent.
Yeah, we know the hypocrites, the people that we thought and we thought these guys were any believers. We thought these guys were defending Islam, but subhanallah, fitna. When it's clear, evil and falsehood, truth and falsehood, you see the believers from the disbelievers, from the hypocrites. Khalas, everything is clear. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created me and you in this time now for a reason. Like Allah didn't put you in the 400 years ago for a reason. He didn't put you 400 years from now for a reason. You see what I'm saying?
He put you now. He put me now.
You see what I'm saying? So interesting conversation, Wakil.
Indeed.
Thank you for your time. And I'll see you later.
Yeah, same.